Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall Gruyter. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing day. Honored to be connecting in with you. And we have a beautiful lineup of guests today that I know you're really going to enjoy. And we're focusing in on how do we live, move into, step fully into our full potential, not just part of our potential, not just in one area of our life, but how do we do this in all areas so we are fully, wholly being who we are and called to be. We're not holding anything back. We're leaning in to bring all of it forward, all of who we are in all areas of our life. Isn't that exciting? I'm really looking forward to our conversation today and really discovering some of the ways that we can do that. In addition, both of our guests are bringing forward powerful books in May. So not only are we going to get some great tips and advice, we're also going to be able to listen in and learn about some of their forthcoming books that we can potentially add to our library to support ourselves on our journey. So I hope you're excited about that as well, that you have your pen and paper ready so you can capture notes and insights and tips that can support you. And you will want to write down the dates those books are going to be released, because there's some really special things you can take advantage of when they first come out. So be listening for that. And to help us really connect in and get the most out of our time together today, let's take a deep breath in through the nose, all the way to our toes. Just feel that breath coming in. Keep breathing, not just one breath, but keep taking multiple breaths in mindfully, purposely. And as we do that, it helps us become present, slow down a little bit so we can actually hear and receive and have room as we breathe out to have new insight and information pour into us. As well as it's an opportunity when we slow down, our cortisol levels drop, we become more present. It feels really good to bring that beautiful oxygen and air in. And it helps us slow down enough to where we can actually hear ourselves think, feel, discover what is bubbling up within us. Sometimes we're moving so fast we miss that. So I want to invite you today to be present, to receive, because I know there is something here for you. So let's be open and leaning in to whatever that is that can serve and support you. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. You're absolutely safe as you keep taking those beautiful breaths. Put both hands on your heart, feeling that heartbeat. And as you do that and you're breathing and you're being still, I want you to think about and feel into what is it that you need to help you step fully into your whole potential. Not just in one area of your life. We can bust that myth that you can only be successful in one area. It's not true. How can we help you step into your full potential in all areas of your life? As you breathe that in and lean in, what is it that you need today to support and empower you in that? Just with curiosity, feel in and see. See what bubbles up. See what you hear, feel, think, discover, sense. Sometimes it's a picture, an image, a reminder. Just see what comes up. Wonderful. So let's take a breath as you receive that information. And open your eyes, come back into the room, fully present, and take a moment to write down what was laid on your heart. By writing it down, it stops swirling around inside of you, and you're actually co-creating it. You're bringing it forward into reality by writing it down. And when you write it physically down, there's a direct connection to your hand and your heart bringing all of you in. And now as you're bringing it into reality, you can interact with it. You can lean in. And that's what I'm going to invite you to do during our conversation today, is lean in with an open heart and ears to discover something new, something you hadn't thought of before, something that can help you in an unexpected way move forward and stepping and living in your full potential, all of it. Beautiful. With that, we're going to go around our virtual room here and connect with each of our amazing guests, and they will share with us what was laid on their heart when they took a moment to stop, pause, and listen. So with that, Karen, I'd love to know what was laid on your heart.
Well, what was laid on my heart was something that I love talking about, which is taking risks. And I think when I talk about living up to my full potential or encouraging other people to, it's all about taking the right risks and being brave enough to put yourself out there.
Beautiful. I love that. Being willing to take risks is key to stepping into our full potential. Being willing to. I love that. Thank you. And how about you, Dr. Sharon? What was laid on your heart?
Well, I've been on your show before, and every time we do this, I think about rest and relaxation and how we take so little time to do that, just sila, as it were. And I think I mentioned that word before. Just take a moment to just pause and think about, I'm actually looking out the window and I'm thinking about all the amazing things that God has made that we so take for granted until we just sit and relax and rest.
Beautiful. And isn't that, as you're saying that, I just feel my body relaxing. I'm looking out the window, noticing the different even tones and colors of the leaves. The top is a little different color on this tree than the bottom, like really appreciating and seeing. And that does, you're absolutely right. It helps me rest for a moment, relax, and become present and enjoy the wonder that is all around us. Really great reminder. Thank you for sharing. And welcome back. Always enjoy having you join us.
Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We are getting ready to go to our first commercial break. And as we do so, listeners, I want you to think about what Karen has shared about risks. Are you remembering to stretch a little bit, take some risks? What Dr. Sharon has shared about remembering to rest, to pause, perhaps notice what is just outside your window or maybe right around you. And as you do that, enjoy these 2 minutes. Stay present. See what's bubbling up in your heart and your spirit. And then we will continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Follow Voice America at Facebook.com/Voice America for juicy updates from your favorite radio shows and podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. I hope you discovered something around you perhaps you hadn't noticed before, because we just move so fast, or we go into autopilot. And when we take that moment to become really present, not only does it feel good and it's kind of energizing to us, it calms us, helps us become more centered and focused so that we can really hear and receive, and I also believe contribute powerfully when we do so. So I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. We will have those breaks throughout the show on purpose to give you an opportunity to be present, to integrate on a cellular level, to breathe in what serves, and to listen to what is bubbling up within as you do. So enjoy those moments. We built them in on purpose. It is my honor to formally introduce our first amazing guest, who mentioned about the importance, touched on that, the importance of taking risks as we're looking at living and stepping fully into our full potential. So let me introduce Karen. Karen Ann Bulluck is a leadership coach for women. She's an international best-selling author and founder of Daring to Transcend. Through her proprietary transcendence methodology, she works with leaders to integrate the whole self and flourish and thrive. Karen was the first woman promoted to executive vice president at AM Best Company. She is a dynamic speaker and passionate about helping you flourish and thrive and stepping into new full dimensions. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the powerful and dynamic Karen Ann Bulluck. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. I am really happy to be here today.
I'm thrilled to have you being here and excited for our conversation. I know you have so many things in the works right now, and it's an especially busy time. So I appreciate you leaning in to have this conversation with us today. And I wanted to start with why. Why is this work of helping women in this way, why is that personally so important to you?
Well, Rebecca, when I left my corporate job a few years ago now, one of my goals was to really live up to my full potential, right? And to be able to tap into the skills and talents and untapped potential that I hadn't been able to utilize in my corporate job. I mean, I had a lot of things I used there, a lot of skills I developed, but I knew there was more. There was more I wanted to do, writing being one of them, but more that I wanted to do it to have an impact on the world. And so living up to my full potential was, a big reason that I started down this path. And then obviously, the natural evolution from that is to help other women in particular, although I do work with men too, but other women live up to their full potential as well.
I love that. And I love that you had that on your heart. You stepped into it, and now you're reaching out and helping others on that same path so powerfully. And you mentioned that part of that for you was writing. And so I know you're creating a powerful series that you've been writing and bringing forward. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about that series and your forthcoming book in it.
Well, the series is called Ascending Ladders, and that's really a reference to people climbing the corporate ladder, right? Particularly women climbing the corporate ladder, because it really, at the heart of the stories is a woman named Cheryl Simmons, who is an IT executive, and she is climbing that corporate ladder until she has a crisis of conscience, at least in the first book, about what's going on in her office. And she's really starts to be challenged at a very deep level as, what am I doing? And how can I stay in this corporate career and still maintain, my integrity and, do things the way that I feel like I need to do them. And so that's sort of the first book of her journey to discover her power, which is why the book is called Discovering Power. And, to try to understand what does that mean for her, and what can that look like when she really gets aligned with her integrity and walks with that, and can she do it?
I love it. I love it. And just for those who may be wondering, is this a fiction, nonfiction, just so they kind of have the container for this powerful book you're bringing forward?
It is a fiction book. It is a book about leadership, and I've told this story before, but I started out writing a book about leadership that honestly was terrible. It wasn't. It was a nonfiction book about leadership, and it was really boring and terrible. And so one day I went for a walk, and I started getting the idea, hearing Cheryl's story in my head, and that's sort of where the fiction evolved. So it could still be a leadership book, but it's, I think, much more fun and pleasant to read it in a fiction format. Plus, I love the advantage of really being able to bring a lot of different perspectives, which you can do, I think, more easily in fiction, to really explore people's feelings and thoughts and inner struggles a lot more than you can in nonfiction.
Oh, wonderful. I love that. I'm excited about it. I love how you approach this one direction and then realized, this isn't feeling right. And you took a walk and you really listened to this new direction, and it's launched a whole series. Now, how many books are in this series?
There are going to be 3 books in the series to be a trilogy. So the second one is pretty close to finished, and the third one is still being formed. But I have some exciting ideas about that already. But all of them involve Cheryl and different phases of her life, both professionally and personally.
Beautiful. I love that. I've had the opportunity to read book 1 and an advanced copy, and I'm in the middle of the advanced copy of book 2, and I can share, listeners, it's great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm getting caught up in it. I'm surprised by things. So I'm really enjoying the journey, Karen, of what you have created and are bringing forward. So just to plant those seeds for any of our listeners out there, I think it's a thought-provoking, engaging series that you'll enjoy. And the first one is coming out very, very soon. I mentioned in the opening that we have books coming out in May. So can you give us the full title again, and when is in May is it coming out, and why is that date special?
Well, the full title is Discovering Power, book 1 of the Ascending Ladders series, and it is coming out on May 24th. Which I love. 24 has always been one of my lucky numbers, so I love that it's coming out on May 24th. And I'm super excited about it. I'm excited about all the events leading up to it, and just really getting it out and sharing it with the world.
Wonderful. I didn't know that about the 24th being one of your favorite lucky numbers. So that's very cool to know. So May 24th, I encourage everyone to mark that on your calendar. And another thing that's really special about that is when it's released, she's going to be offering it for a special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours. So I encourage you to mark that date on your calendar. It's going to be available on Amazon for that special rate of $1.99 for the first 24 hours. We're going to be helping Sharon promote it out. But if this is something that is pulling and calling to you, I really encourage you to watch for that. Make sure you mark that date on your calendar so you can take advantage of that special rate and enjoy this powerful book. And when you look at this book, do you have a favorite part or something that you just can't wait for readers to explore or discover when they enjoy this book?
Well, there's actually one of the minor characters in the book. Her name is Keisha, and she has such spunk and spark, and she actually is sort of the trigger to some of Cheryl's trauma, or second-guessing herself, I should say. So I love her, and I can't wait for, obviously I can't wait for readers to meet Cheryl, but I also can't wait for them to meet Keisha, because she's such a little powerhouse, and she's, really a catalyst in book one, and she's going to grow in the other books too. So she's kind of a fun secondary character that I'm excited about people meeting.
I love that. And I love how these characters have come alive and become real people in your life and in your sphere, and that you can't wait to introduce them to people. So I love that. And as we think back about your book and it's coming out and you're leaning into it being released in the world, are there any final thoughts or shares that you would love for people to know about the book, or something to look forward to as they lean into May 24th?
Well, there's a few ways people can actually get involved before May 24th if they'd like to. I have a website called ascendingladders.com where people can sign up for information about the book and pre-release. Plus, I'm going to be giving away some copies of the hardcover book when it comes out, autographed copies, so they can sign up there for a drawing. And I also have some events. I'm going to have a virtual retreat for women, May 9th through 11th.
Okay.
We'll delve into some of the themes about the book and give people a little bit of a sneak preview. I'm not going to give away all the secrets, but give people a little bit of a preview of some of the themes of the book and the ability to dive into them and explore them in their own lives.
Nice. I love that. Wonderful. So at the end of the show, we're going to have you give all that contact information again, so we make sure everybody has an opportunity to put some of those dates in their calendar and stay connected. And I love that you have so many ways they can get involved prior to May 24th and really be part of the book coming forward. And it's almost like a community that you're building with that. And I think that's really powerful. The more we can come together and explore some of these important themes, it's a way we can help make the world a better place and more fully step into our power and our potential. And I'd love to circle back on that as well. So is there one tip that comes to your heart and mind as we look at how we can more fully step into all of who we are? I know you mentioned being willing to take risks a little bit more and the opening thoughts. Anything you'd like to add to that as we explore fully stepping into all of who we are?
Well, we kind of touched on it when I talked about, how discovering power came to be as far as taking a walk and listening to my intuition. And I think intuition is an important theme in the book, and it's also, and the series for that matter. And it's also really important for us to really live up to our full potential, because I don't think sometimes we know in our conscious minds what our full potential really is, but we do in our unconscious minds. We do when we're connected to our real inner self and listening to our intuition and learning to tap into that inner wisdom is really critical to living up to your full potential. So I think I would start there.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I love that. And it's perfect timing. We are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. So listeners, I want to encourage you to do a couple of things as we step into this next break. One, write down May 24th on your calendars so you make sure that you're watching for the launch date of her powerful book. And then secondly, reflect on a little bit of what she's sharing about really listening, tapping into your intuition. And maybe use these 2 minutes, just feel in and see, dear intuition, what are you sharing with me? What do I need to understand or listen to a little bit more? And just be open and see. We'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
told me Voice America is on Twitter. Follow us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
Voice America programs are now available on your favorite connected device, including Amazon, Alexa, and Google Home. Through streams with Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and iHeartRadio, listening to your favorite show is as easy as saying the show name followed by the word podcast.
Hey, Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast.
If that doesn't work, try adding on TuneIn or on iHeartRadio or on Apple Podcasts.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
It's your world. Motivate, change, succeed. VoiceAmericaEmpowerment.com.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes. Did you hear your intuition speaking to you? Did something come up? A prompting, a reminder, a knowing. It's great to check in periodically and see. And I have found when I have listened, it has always served me well and moved me in a good, empowering direction. It's given me guidance. So I encourage you to build that practice into your life of that pausing and that listening and seeing what's bubbling up. I'm excited to introduce our next amazing guest. I know you will love her as well. Her name is Dr. Sharon Arrindell. She is a native of Jamaican West Indies. She's an international speaker, and I would say an inspirational international speaker. She just got back, I believe, right? Dr. Sharon, you just got back from, where were you speaking?
Paris, France.
That's what I was remembering, Paris, France. So welcome back. Congratulations. I hope that you enjoyed it. She is also the president and CEO of Inspired Wholeness Enterprise. She's a pastor, Christian counselor, and coach, #1 international best-selling author. She's brought forward and published multiple books and is a professor as well. She holds a bachelor's in organizational management, master's of science in counseling, a doctorate in biblical counseling and biblical studies, and another doctorate in educational leadership. And she is passionate about helping you move forward into your full, whole, powerful potential. Please lean in. Warmly welcome the dynamic and inspirational Dr. Sharon Arrindell. Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Rebecca, again. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thrilled to have you joining us. And I know you just recently got back, so you're still adjusting to time zones and all those things. So
it's not that recent. You know, it was the beginning part of March.
Okay.
So
it's
I'm
just
back.
fresh in my mind.
Yes.
I'm living it with you. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm thrilled to have you back and fully here. And I wanted to have you share a little bit about why is this work in particular, you've traveled around the world in different places to help people in this area around fully, wholly stepping into their full selves. Why is that work so important to you?
Because I feel like, when we're broken and fragmented, it's hard for us to even know what our assignment is, let alone do it. We don't, we're thinking so much about what's going on, the circumstances, the situations, the fetal position that we're in at the time, that we can't even embrace who God made us to be. He made us so special, fearfully and wonderfully, he says. And yet, because of our situations, we can't go fully into what he has for us to do.
And is there something on your journey that has brought this forward, that has compelled you to, one, know this truth, and then two, help others see that and own this in their lives?
Well, my own journey has been, I call it sometimes a roller coaster ride. When you get on that roller coaster, I recall, I'm going to give away my age right now, because I recall my ride on the Cyclone at the amusement park in New York. That was my favorite ride. But I always got on there with my heart racing, racing. As you get to the top, you could hear it churning, and you think you're going to get thrown off of it. You're literally praying as you go up to the top. And then you get to the top, and you just let go and put your hands in the air. Well, that was me back then, putting your hands in the air as you crash down that one first hill. But then there are a bunch of hills coming up. But as a result of making it down that one hill, you realize, I'm going to make it, and the rest of the hills just seem like a piece of cake, to the point where you literally get on again, So that has been somewhat my life story, right? Off the roller coaster, on again, off, on again. And at this point in my journey, I just want to help some people understand that it doesn't last forever, right? You get to the bottom and you find that it all is well, because God is there every single time.
Beautiful. Every single hill, every single climb, every single fall. Yep. Beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And I know that you have multiple books out, and you have a new one coming out just around the corner. It's launching on May 2nd. So everyone write that down, because you know why that's special, but we'll remind you May 2nd. Write that down. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about this book, the title, and why you created it and are excited to bring it forward.
The title of the book is Armored and Victorious, Memoirs of a Crossover Season. And the why of the book, well, initially it was because everybody kept asking me to write the sequel to my book, my first part of my story. Everybody wants to know, so what happened next, And so a couple of years ago, 2021, when I had COVID, I had it really badly and was in the hospital and went through the whole journey of that. It was a 2-month journey, actually. But when I was being rolled out of the hospital, I looked back and I looked up to that 4th floor, and I realized a lot of people weren't going to get out of that hospital, but I did. And so I was a designated survivor. I think we all are. But for me, it meant, churning out that book, going back and recalling the journey, the journey that has led to a very victorious life that I just want everybody to have, want everybody to have that victorious part, So I take everybody on my journey with me throughout, I talk about different parts. You can't write everything or else you'll be writing forever. Yep. But I gave parts that were most important to me and that I feel will be most important in the lives of those who would read.
Well, one, I'm so glad that you survived and you are absolutely, and that you are taking that as a survivor to really bring forward what you feel can serve most deeply and highly. And that must have been a profound moment when you looked up at that fourth floor and realized many wouldn't be making the exit the way that you did and wouldn't be leaving. So I honor that. I honor those lives and their families, and I celebrate that you're here with us to support us in so many powerful ways. And one of the things I remember we talked about when you were sharing about your book was the cover. That you were really excited about the cover. Can you share about the cover and describe it to us so we know what to look for on May 2nd?
Well, it's very rare that I like to see myself on a cover, but the designer kept saying to me, "You won't be alone. You won't be by yourself." And I said, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Well, I am not by myself. There are 3 of me on the cover of that book. And in each, when he was taking the pictures, they were taken individually. But in each one of those moments, you could see me, just looking at that one person in the center, which is the real me, the victorious me, the one that has come up from the ashes, and not arrived at all. We never arrive, but just come up from the ashes, so that others could see they can come up from the ashes as well. And I'm dressed in full armor on that cover. And, you always hear people say armed and dangerous. And I did it. Armed means you have some type of weapon in your hand or something like that. But when you're armored, you're fully covered, from head to toe. And I literally talk about that armor in the book as well, and how we need to make sure that all the pieces are in place, because the enemy, he wants to kill us, and so we have to be intact. We have to be armored so that we could be victorious on this ride of our lives.
Beautiful. And I love that your photographer and your designer had a vision and was assuring you wouldn't be alone. Not quite the way you thought it would be. But I love what was created and brought forward. It is a really powerful and meaningful cover. So that's something that, absolutely, we can be looking for. So I've mentioned a few times, May 2nd is the release date. We're also going to be sharing that book out as well. I know that it will inspire and encourage you, touch your hearts and spirits. And we want you to make sure to write that date on your calendar, because during the first 24 hours, just like with Karen's book, you'll have the opportunity to get a copy for the special rate of $1.99. What an amazing value, both of these books, to be able to be one of the first to secure a copy, to also be able to get it at such an available price. So I encourage you, I don't want anyone to say, I wish I would have known. So you heard today, May 2nd, May 24th are when these 2 powerful books will come out. Be watching for them. And then I'd love for you to share a final tip or thought with our listeners as we are sitting here connected here today. Is there something we can do that can help us be fully armored, as you say, or fully stepping more into our potential, kind of rising up from the ashes, as you shared? Do you have a thought, a tip, or reminder on your heart to help us with that?
Yeah, I do. May 2nd is a very special day. It's my anniversary. Been married to my dream guy for 3 years, and that will be our 3rd anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, besides all of that, a tip. We have to remember who we are. Remember who we are. In the movie, The Lion King, that baby lion, Simba, as a result of his own enemy, Scar, he couldn't remember who he was. He was slated to be the king of the jungle, to take his father's place. But once his father died and it felt like it was his fault, he ran off. He ran off and literally forgot who he was. But in the midst of him running, he has a vision of his dad saying, "Remember who you are. Remember who you are." And his dad kept saying it over and over and over again, because it's only when we remember who we are, who we were initially created to be, that we can walk victoriously into our destiny.
I'm just letting that sink in. Thank you for sharing. I could hear that moment in the movie as you were sharing, and the power and the resonance of that voice as it got deeper and more powerful. Remember. And what a gift to all of us to help us today remember who we truly are, who we are slated to be, who we are called to fully be, become, own, and bring forward. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharon.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Absolutely. We are getting ready to move to our next commercial break. I know the time goes so quickly. I want to encourage you to take these 2 minutes as a gift, lovingly wrapped just for you, to remember who you are. To take a moment, sink into that deeply, and we'll continue our conversation in just 2 minutes.
Voice America is on your favorite smart speaker. If you have Alexa or Google Home, go ahead and give us a try.
Hey Alexa, play Finding Your Frequency podcast on TuneIn.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
You need to live up to your full potential. You've heard that for years, but now there's a channel to help you get there. Introducing the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Our listeners have told us that they want to be motivated, hear about success stories, and positive encouragement around the clock. And we've responded to you. The Voice America Empowerment Channel is the home of the world's top life coaches, entrepreneurs, and success experts. Listen to the Voice America Empowerment Channel. It's here at voiceamericaempowerment.com.
Rebecca Hall Gruyter's Speaker Talent Search is looking for speakers wanting to get on more stages. With just one audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities, reach more people, and expand your impact. Finalists get to audition live in front of leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Apply now at speakertalentsearch.com. That's speakertalentsearch.com. We look forward to hearing your message.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Gruyter. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-888-346-9141. That's 1-888-346-9141. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed those 2 minutes, that when you paused, perhaps listening to your intuition, your prompting, maybe really sinking into remembering who you truly are, I hope you had some powerful insights. I could feel both of those moments during our break just echoing within me deeply and throughout me. And just, I felt a deepening happen as I took those 2 minutes consciously, purposely to be still and let those messages sink within me. I hope you also had a powerful experience as you took those 2 minutes carved out just for you. And here's what I'm going to encourage you to do. At the end of the show today, choose to be present. Choose to take a couple of minutes, maybe 3 minutes or 7 minutes, just for you. Look out into the world. Really see what's bubbling up and speaking to you. See how that is helping you remember more fully fully who you are and what you're called to do and to be and to bring forward. Perhaps take a risk to stretch a little bit more. Bring a little bit more of you forward, remembering to rest, to be silent, to be still, and listen. Those practices can transform your life. They can build an ease and a flow and a stretching and a growing into it and helping you step forward in powerful, whole, full ways. That's part of stepping into your potential. So take that time for you. Really use that. And anytime you can take these practices forward, not just during our show, you can actually do them throughout the day and throughout your life. So I want to encourage you to do that from my heart to yours. And then I had a gift placed on my heart that I also wanted to share with you. It's called the Emerging Author Series with an S. It's plural. emergingauthorseries.com. This is a collection of ebooks. They're each about a chapter in length. There are 9 of them for those of you who are feeling that pull to bring your story forward. Maybe it's in a fiction or a nonfiction format. You are a survivor by the very nature that you are here today. So as a survivor, what are you being called to bring forward? Is it in a written format? And so these books help you know the myths and truths about writing and bringing your book forward and publishing or launching, or how do I format a book, or what is the structure to write? It gives you support on all of that information so you can be really empowered to focus on your message. And that's just a gift, free to download from our heart to yours at emergingauthorseries.com. I hope that supports you, and I can't wait to see your stories and your messages out in the world. With that, we're going to go around our virtual room here and have each of our guests share the way you can connect with them, go deeper. They're going to remind you of their book title and the launch date so that you make sure you have the right dates on your calendar. With that, Karen, I'm going to start with you. If you can remind us of the title of your book, the launch date, the best way to connect, and give us just a little sample of some of the ways we can get involved prior to the launch.
Thanks, Rebecca. My book is called Discovering Power, Book 1 of the Ascending Ladder series, and it is going to be released on May 24th, 2023, which I'm really excited about. The best way to stay connected and get all the updates about the book launch and the events that are associated with it is going to ascendingladders.com and signing up for the pre-launch email list, the drawing to get a free autographed copy of the print book when it becomes available, to get information about the virtual retreat that's going to be held on May 9th through 11th, and as well as some other community activities that are going to be planned after the book comes out. So I've got lots of things. To your point, I really do want to create a community around this book, because part of being a woman leader and taking those risks that you need to take is having a good support system. And I want to use this book to start creating a support system for women who want to take risks and want to live up to their full potential.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love that you are looking to create a community like that and a support system for women in so many different ways. And I love that you're bringing this beautiful series forward. And the first one will be launched on May 24th. So congratulations. And we are going to be watching and looking forward to seeing your beautiful book come into the world. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me, Rebecca. It's been wonderful to be here, and to Dr. Sharon for her beautiful message. I just love the synchronicity of all of this.
Me as well. Oh, I love it. And speaking of Dr. Sharon, I would love for you as well to remind us of the title of your book, when it's coming out, so we can make sure we have that date on our calendar, and what is the best way for us to connect in and go deeper with you?
The name of the book is Armored and Victorious, Memoirs of a Crossover Season. It launches on May 2nd. Your other question, okay, you can reach me. My website is www.inspiredwholenesscounseling.com. All my publications are on that website. Things that I've done, things that I'm doing. I don't really have anything planned except for some snippets that I do on social media, some little video clips of me talking about not just the book, but how people can rise and become and do what they need to be doing in their own lives. But I do have some things coming after. I'll be speaking in Dallas. I'll be doing my first boot camp with couples that I counsel with. I'll be having a boot camp in May, and so on and so forth. It just keeps coming and going.
I love it. It keeps rolling along and unfolding, which is wonderful. And since you mentioned social media, what is your social media handle, and which platform is your favorite for them to watch and interact on?
Well, my favorite one would be Facebook, because most of my followers on Facebook. I am listed on Facebook just as Sharon Arrindell, ARRINDELL. On Instagram, I'm listed as Dr. Sharon Arrindell, and I believe on LinkedIn, I'm also listed as Dr. Sharon Arrindell or Sharon Arrindell, and those are the three main places that I show up all the time.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for sharing today. We're looking forward to your launch as well. It's just around the corner, my goodness. So just a week and a half, 2 weeks away. It's just around the corner. So we'll definitely be watching and excited to see your book come forward and ripple out into the world. Absolutely. And thank you for joining us today and sharing so beautifully from your heart and spirit. I so appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Rebecca.
Absolutely. And listeners, thank you for showing up and sharing this space with us. I hope you got some great insights and tips to support you on your journey. So as you get ready to go back out into the world, I want to encourage you to take those few minutes for you, because you are a gift. There's no one else in the world just like you. And you are exquisitely made and designed for such a time as this. The biggest gift you can give the world is more of you. So be willing to lean in, be willing to take some of those risks, to stretch out a little bit more and share more of who you are. So wherever you go, whatever you do, be willing to bloom where you're planted and shine. Have an amazing week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.
thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Gruyter, next Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific, on the Voice America Empowerment Channel, with a replay on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Variety Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.